Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you with another video for your butt. Today I'm making a video response for Mr. Fisher Bike who wants us to give our top 10 vintage cards. I almost never do. I don't know if I ever have done like top 10, top 5 video cards. But for video responses, I'll do what you ask of me, man. It's all about the card community. Alright, so one of the first cards I chose was, man, this 1952 Topps Bob Feller. This was the first 1952 Topps card that I ever purchased. Man, so I mean, it holds a deep meaning in my heart, big time. And it has the Chief Wahoo. You know, it's kind of sad. Like, I understand, like, you know, all this stuff and cancel culture and stuff, but man, as much as you don't want to dwell on history, you can't also forget it. Man, at Dodger Stadium, we had this hallway with a bunch of vintage signs from the baseball teams. And they removed the Cleveland Indians, and well, now the Cleveland Guardians and the Atlanta Braves old logos. You know, it's like, so it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Do you understand, Rubber Band? Don't cancel me. So next I got this 1956 Topps Mickey Mantle. So many times when people ask what is your favorite card that you have, period, normally I would say it's this 1956 Mickey Mantle. You know, I'm just like every other real collector. We just change our minds so often. But this will probably hold the top spot more times than any other card. His Triple Crown year. Look at that smile. He looks so young. The Michael Jordan pose right there. Man, sweet. Happy to own it in this screw down, which is, I don't know how long it's been in this screw down. I'm not gonna take it out. I'm gonna preserve it just the way it is. All right. And one of the things, you know, this is my favorite card probably that I have of all of them that I have. Do I have more valuable cards? Yes. Do I have more valuable Mickey Mantle cards? Yes. I don't care about the value. I care about the card. This is still my favorite card. Alright. And then we got this Thurman Munson. Sicko! I just think this is such a sick pick. Look at that, man. Thurman Munson, you know, his career was ended short. He died in an airplane crash. But this card right here, just the dust, you know, people don't realize, you know, I'm a groundskeeper, so I think about this often. It's like, what if there was still replay back then? Doesn't matter because there's so much dust, you know, the dirt used to be so dry. The amount of water that we throw on it right now is almost criminal. But it makes for the perfect surface. I mean, nowadays there's, you know, that's why I hold so much value for the old players like Ozzie Smith, you know, Ryan Sandberg, who played during conditions when the dirt wasn't as good and bad hops were just prominent. You know, some of Ozzie Smith's greatest catches, you know, plays were because of a bad hop and the way he reacted to it, you know. But look at this. I mean, this also makes me think about Maury Wills used to come to our break room, and he would complain about some of the newer players, you know, like Ether and Cam. Like, they would complain, like they would literally complain because they tore their pants, you know, sliding. And Maury Wills would be like, man, they complain about, you know, a rip on their pants. Back then, I didn't have any knees. I didn't have any skin on my knees. Every slide was just a bloody mess. So, I mean, this card just takes me back to a lot of different things. And this is one card that I kind of added. There's two cards that I ended up taking out and replacing, and this was one of the replacements. I mean, yeah, Jackie Robinson is way up there on my list of, you know, favorite all-time players and stuff. But this one has a lot of meaning because way before I was on YouTube, and people on my Facebook group used to hold breaks and raffles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I would never enter. I'm just not the gambling type. And my friend Rafael Hernandez, he bought one spot for me. I think this was like $5 a spot. You know, I don't know how many spots, but he bought me one. And I ended up winning. So, basically I got this card for free. Sicko. Rafa Aldis, rest in peace, homie. Mucho amor. But yeah, I got this card for free basically because I got it in a raffle that my friend paid my entry. The odds against me were like big, that I was actually going to win it because there were so many entries. I only got one spot, but I won it. Sometimes it makes me wonder if it was rigged. Next card I got is the 63 Topps Rookie Stars. All right, with Steve Dalkowski. Steve Dalkowski made a couple of videos on this card before. Awesome, just an awesome gift from John Mangini. He asked me what was one of my dream cards. Now I told him it was this one. This one is not say super expensive. I could probably, but it was in the $100 area. But if there was a Mickey Mantle card for $100, if that was my budget, and I was gonna pick the Mickey Mantle all day. This is just one of the cards. Man, at the right time, at the right moment, I would love to buy this card. And that moment never came. And then Mancini sent it to me. So this is a sick ass 63 Steve Dalkowski. If you guys don't know Steve Dalkowski, if you ask a lot of people, actual major league players, who they think threw the hardest ever, it was Steve Dalkowski. He threw so hard that the ball could not go straight for strikes, basically. All right. Ooh, and then this next one. I love this card right here. This has so much just crazy meaning. You know what I mean? It has Mantle, Bauer, and Berra. And, everybody can look at cards their own way. And what I see is Mantle, looking at this dead body right here. Bauer kind of oh, that was great. And Yogi Berra was oh man, I took my T-Rex impersonation too far. You know what I mean? To me, I always think he's impersonating a T-Rex arms. I don't like confrontations. Bauer's just laughing, and Mickey Mantle has a serious face. And then whoa, what's this body laying right here? I mean, if that's not enough, you know what I mean? Besides this card just being a beautiful 7. Amazing, amazing 7. All right. It's number 44. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with that, 44 is my lucky favorite number. And it goes something to do with my, it started with my Reggie Jackson jersey. So after that, 44 just became my lucky number. I put my volume on my TV, on my radio, my car, everything on 44. It's just kind of my favorite number, man, 44. After Reggie Jackson, basically, who I used to hate growing up. More or less. But check it out, man. Sicko. This card is enfermo. Enfermo. Oh! Then we got this Willie Mays baseball thrills. This catch at the time, to me, was the greatest catch of all time. Is it the greatest catch of all time now? Maybe not. I would almost give that to, who was it? Jim Edmonds, who made a spectacular catch diving in much the same way. But I would say Jim Edmonds' catch was better. But I would say the Willie Mays play was better. Because Jim Edmonds didn't have to throw it in. And man, the timing, everything having to do with this play right here is just amazing. So I would still call this a better play. But who had the better catch of all time? Maybe Jim Edmonds did. Check out Jim Edmonds' catch. I mean, it's spectacular. All right, but at that time, no one had seen anything like this before. Nobody had given the effort like this before to make that catch and to throw it back in as... Come on. Willie Mays. Series history. All right, so next card I got is Ted Williams. Sicko! Man, look at that. The back is awesome. The front is awesome. And this card, I had seen this logo for a long time, and I don't know why I never put that much thought into it. But I would look at it and say, like, what the hell is that? I just didn't understand what that was. Trying to get it in focus, hocus pocus. But I did not understand what that was. I don't know why. And it wasn't, man, I literally was like maybe a year ago. I think it was probably Picker Jim Ass who like showed one of these logos. Like, yeah, and the Red Sox. I was like, what the hell? It is a Red Sox. Makes perfect sense, Boston Red Sox. But man, I don't know what the hell that was. If that was a chili, if that was a hot dog, that was just some dude with the, Jay Leno right there. I didn't understand what the hell, and it blows my mind. You know what I mean? I was like, how the hell for all those years, I didn't understand that was a Red Sox. Duh. But man, Ted Williams. Sicko card. Sick. Oh. Alright. And on the next one, Eddie Matthews. Again, with the old logos that have been canceled. But man, Eddie, this is his, I think it's his, I'm almost positive it's his second year card. I think his 52 is his rookie. But I've always been intrigued by the second best home run hitter, best player on the team. And he was behind Hank Aaron. So kind of, I always have a thing for those overshadowed stars. And, now that I think about it, is that now Mike Trout? Like last year, everybody was saying Mike Trout was the best player in baseball. Is it possible now that he is the second best player on his team behind Shohei Ohtani? I don't know. Intriguing minds want to know. But man, this is sick as Eddie Matthews card. Love it. I got it in a trade for my very first Mickey Mantle slab card that I ever had. And I swore I would never trade it away, but this guy, it belonged more in his collection than it belonged in mine, I guess, at the time. And this was one of the cards he gave me in a trade. And I love it. I love the Howard Johnson behind Darryl Strawberry, the Matt Williams behind Barry Bonds. I love those second best player on the team guy who could be the best player on another team. Did he just happen to play and got overshadowed by a better person on his own team? Alright, and the last card, Sandy Koufax. Sick Sandy Koufax. I used to have this card raw for a long time. I actually sent this guy $500 cash in the mail when I bought this card off him way before YouTube on Instagram. And it was probably in better shape because I kept it raw for years. Licking it, taking it to the beach and to the mountains and stuff with me. Loved this card. That's just how I loved my cards. And I remember like one guy from my baseball group when I made a YouTube video and I licked it. And he said, you just turned that PSA 7 to a PSA shit. But I don't care, man. Look at the centering. That centering is GEFM. Good enough for me. I don't care what you think, man. This card is just insane-o sicko. Man, the little cartoons all drawn. Man, look at the colors in the back. Vibrant. Alright? So those are my top 10 cards. And the two cards that I ended up taking out that I had originally was this Ted Luzinski. Love this. This is just an iconic card to me. And not iconic like price-wise, rare-wise, value, anything like that. Just what it stands for, what it is. Him sleeveless. I know a lot of people always say, oh, he cut off his sleeves. Well, he didn't cut off his sleeves. They actually had an undershirt. You know what I mean? That goes with the uniform, and he just didn't wear it. If you look at old Cincinnati Reds uniforms, they just had a black sleeve or whatever on there, and he just didn't wear it. So I don't know if he played like this or whatever, but just catching him without it. Epic. Epic. Epic card right here, man. Sicko. And then another card that I took out that was originally on my top 10 was the Oscar Gamble. And this is from my miscut collection. I have a collection of miscut cards. And this is one of them. But right away, when I heard about this, I thought about this card. Because I love this card. I mean, his hair coming out of his hat. For a while, I used to have the like a Death Row CD, greatest hits kind of stuff. And I had the Lady of Rage Afro Puffs. So that's what these are called. Afro Puffs. You know, like the way not exactly, but she had them. She called them Afro. And she had a song, The Lady of Rage. I come rough and tough with my Afro Puffs. And every time I would hear that song, I always thought about this card. So with that in mind, this card was in my mind a lot, you know, at least during those couple years, you know, when Death Row was one of the things I used to listen to a lot in my car. Every time I hear The Lady of Rage, I would think about this card right here. But Oscar Gamble, I just think this is also one of the greatest cards. Obviously, like I said, I'm not judging by value. None of these cards right here am I judging by value. Mm-hmm. I'm going by what I like. You know, my first card right here, the Mickey Mantle, you know, Triple Crown year, the Dust, and right here, and this isn't his rookie card. He has a card with 3 other players, I believe, a multiplayer card, but I prefer this card. You know, you could prefer what you like. I just prefer this card. This one reminds me of homeboy Rafael. Rest in peace. Love you forever, homeboy. Who put me in a raffle, bought a spot for me, and ended up getting this card. Thank you, Mangini, for this one. It's Steve Dalkowski. I have a thing with players, what could have been. You know, Mickey Mantle is one of those players why I like him so much. What could have been if he didn't play his whole career hurt? You know, what if Steve Dalkowski didn't blow his arm out in his very first game in the major leagues that he ever played? Great story right there. I love this card right here. I just love the image. This card wasn't even really like on my radar when I first started saying, okay, I'm gonna buy the Mickey Mantle Topps, you know, Playing Days run. This card wasn't on that list. Mm-hmm. Man, but when I saw it, I had to have it. I had to have it. And gracias a Dios, I do have it. You know, then this Willie Mays baseball thrills. Come on. Enfermo card. This is just iconic. You know, if iconic is just rare, you know, everybody has their own spin. I just want to say it's iconic because I feel like every person should have this card. That's why I'm calling it iconic, because I think everybody should have this card. Not because I think the elite few should have this card, because I think everybody should have this card. Ted Williams, the kid. Sicko. With the sausage face right there. And sick card. Ted Williams, man. Imagine if he didn't lose all those years in his prime fighting the war. His numbers would be outrageous. And Eddie Matthews behind Hank Aaron. I love this card right here. Love me those second best players on a team that didn't get to make a name for themselves. And Sandy Koufax, what can you say? Had one of the 5-6 greatest years of a pitcher of all time. Also, of what could have been if he didn't hurt his elbow. You know, love those stories. That adds to it. Why he might not have had the best career, he had some of the best few years. And what if he didn't get hurt? He probably would have had the best career. I think so. And no sleeves. And the Afro Puffs. Alright, so there it is. Oh, love the hobby, people. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I said. That was fun. Love talking baseball cards. Check you later, Mr. Fisher Bite. Check you later.